Welcome to Live From Your Heart. This isn't just a podcast you'll listen to. This is for those moments in your life when you start to realize something's off. Maybe you've spent years doing what was expected, showing up for everyone else, playing the roles, and somewhere along the way, you lost connection with yourself. If that's you, you are in the right place. Every week, I'm going to have real conversations about what it actually looks like to come back to your own heart and start living from that place again, or perhaps for the first time. And if at some point you realize you're ready for more than just listening, I'm going to show you what the next steps look like. So let's get started. Most people think that grief is something you go through when something's lost. Here's what I've learned. There's a lot of things that we never, ever grieve. Conversations that never happen. Versions of our life that never come together. Parts of ourselves that we left behind. And when we don't feel it, we carry it. Yeah, when we don't feel it, we carry it. So as we kind of step into this doorway back to your heart, I'm going to talk about grief for just a few minutes. Because what you haven't allowed yourself to feel, it's still shaping your life. We don't want to avoid it, but we want to look at it as something that's going to bring you back to who you really are, to help you begin to live from your own heart. Hey, it's Les Walkline, and I'm the host of this podcast called Live from Your Heart. I'm glad that you have joined. It's always interesting to talk to my audience as I meet people on Zoom, on the telephone, they call and set an appointment. And obviously, there are many people out here listening that haven't taken action yet. I talked to a fella in South America just a few days ago, Argentina. And people are listening to my podcast around the world. It's crazy. He said he's been listening for 2 months. And I've finally begun to take some action and make some change. If that's you, let me encourage you, go to the show notes and click my important link. I'll be happy to take some time and listen to your story and talk with you. Maybe I can help you. But the first step is connect. Make the connection. So let's talk about grief for just a few minutes. Let me just kind of set the stage so you kind of have the idea of what we're going to talk about, just from a loss, disappointment, shift, something that mattered but wasn't fully processed, and you kept moving forward instead of feeling. Let me tell you something about divorce, because as I think through this for me, um, this is where this just kind of hits me in the face. And I went through my divorce, um, gosh, 34 years ago, somewhere in that neighborhood. Um, and I was at a place where I had decided, right, wrong, or indifferent, that I did not want to be married to her anymore. I did not want the relationship anymore. I wanted something completely different. And so I moved out. It's pretty tough to say here, but I did. And we just happened to live in Las Vegas, Nevada. You can get a divorce in a day in Vegas if it's totally uncontested, and you can get a hearing. Well, our case took a week. 1 week. 1 week. I'm going to tell you, I appreciate states that have a waiting period because it gives space and time for people to consider their actions and what they're doing. So within a week, we're divorced. But does that mean we were healed? Oh my God. We barely got the words out of our mouth. I can tell you that I carried things and I grieved things for 5 or 6 years. And things would pop up, and especially around my children. And we had to be around one another, and we had to communicate for the sake of the boys. Well, and here's what you do when this is going on, okay? You just tell yourself, "I'm fine. I'm okay. It is what it is. It's just life. It's just divorce." You stay functional. You keep functioning, but things are unresolved. There's a possibility that you can never resolve the difference between two people, but there's always a possibility of resolving your feelings yourself. But there's a moment as you're going through this, there's that realization that I never let myself feel the loss. I never grieved. I never gave myself time. I've seen this happen time and time and time again with people who go through a separation and divorce, and they jump back in to another relationship before the ink is even dried. And, I was that case. Okay. Did I have real feelings for the next person? Who knows? I thought I did. But the reality is, it didn't work out. Wasn't supposed to. And you've heard these rebound relationships. It's almost a common phrase. You gotta have one so you can get over yourself, get over whatever you lost, get over your divorce, get over your spouse. But there's a realization where you never let yourself feel it and we hit that place. Not intellectually, but emotionally. I never agreed to this. And when we see what we avoided, uh, whew, so what's the cost? Here's how it shows up. Unfelt grief shows up just like this. And it's got some characteristics. Numbness, irritability, disconnection, lack of joy. And not because life isn't, not because life is empty, but because something's unprocessed. Oh gosh, it's undone. You ever felt this? You ever gone through this process? Yeah, we all have. We all have. So, what can we do to get through the grief process and stand back up and live from the own heart? Um, Grief is not weakness, folks. No, it's being honest about what matters. He mattered, she mattered with. And it's probably always based around relationships. Almost all the time, grief comes from broken self relationships, brokenness of loss. Uh, Grief is a weakness. You got to be honest because it did matter. Second thing that we need to really jump on top of was this. We avoided it because it slows us down. Here's what we do. The first time we stay busy, we double down on work, we stay forward focused. Why? Because grief requires us to stop and feel it. It requires stillness. If you're going to live from your own heart, you got some stuff to grieve, and you're going to have to stop the chaos that you bring in to mask. You're just going to have to sit still. You're going to have to let it flow through you and feel it. You may need to do some crying. One good cry may take several. Well, Les Paul, does that happen over a day or a week? I don't know. It's up to you. It depends. But what you don't feel, you're going to carry. If you don't purge this, you're going to carry it. And it will show back up. Have you ever noticed that when you finally unload some of this heaviness, this grief, that your attitude towards everything about your life shifts to the positive side? All of a sudden, what kind of irritated you about someone or something doesn't. And you take note of it and you go, oh, wow, that used to irritate me, but it's okay. Yeah. That's because you've unloaded that numbness. Okay. And if you don't, you carry it and it shows up. What does it show up in? Just exactly what I laid in front of you. Our responses, our connection, how you show up. Yeah, it's how it shows up that you're carrying this grief. Oh my. And if you think you can have a relationship world, something serious without unloading all this, you are fooling yourself. You are. Until you grieve it and purge it, you're never going to live from your own heart. You're always going to bring that baggage into the next space you're living in. Because when you feel it, it frees you. It doesn't happen instantly, but gradually over time. Because when you feel it, you gradually stop carrying that unconsciously and let it go. Yeah. So let me ask you this question. What in your life have you moved past, but you've never actually felt through it? Not what happened, not the details, but what did it mean to you? What did it mean to you? What does that make you stop and think? What in your life have you moved past but never actually grieved, never actually felt it? Not what the details will remember, but what happened, how you felt, the angst that was in you. Here's what I had to do. I had to slow down long enough to feel the things that I skipped over because I skipped over stuff. I'm going to tell you, I didn't grieve my marriage, and it showed back up the brokenness, all the things. I grieved it over and over and over again. And it has taken, honestly, it probably took 7 or 8 years to slowly unload that and grieve it. Even when I was leading divorce recovery ministries and groups, a part of me was still grieving it. As I was in it, I was hearing it. I had to slow down long enough to feel the things that I skipped over. You're going to have to slow down and do the same thing. Was it comfortable? No. But grief doesn't take you backwards, folks. It brings you back to what matters, back to what's real, back to yourself. So you can live from your heart, from your own heart, honestly and sincerely, deep inside your core. Let me encourage you. Take heart this message. Take heart this question I threw down at you. What in your life have you moved past but you've never grieved? What did it mean to you? Stop, pause, take some time. Let me encourage you. Take some action. You need help. You want to talk about this, go to the show notes, connect to me through my link. You can schedule a time that's convenient for you, and I give you access to the time I'm available. Schedule a time, let's chat. Let me see if I can help you. At least I can listen and give you my thoughts. I hope today has been helpful because grief is the door back to your heart. Hey, it's Les Paul at Live From Your Heart. I hope you have a blessed day. God bless. I'll see you soon. Let me ask you something. If you're listening right now and you know you've been living out of alignment, you've been showing up for everyone else, and somewhere along the way you lost yourself, then this isn't just a podcast for you. This is your moment. This is your moment. Look, I work privately with a small number of people who are ready to reset their life and start living from their own heart again. Not someday, but now. Now's the time. If that's you, go to the link in the show notes and schedule that private conversation with me. We'll have a conversation. We'll talk. We'll get clear. We'll see if this is your next step. But don't just listen. Don't be a sponge. Make a move. Make a move. Click that link and let's talk.